Hey, what is up guys? Clouds here, bringing you a Wi-Fi underused battle in the Black and White 2 Gen. Today's battle is between Fille and PKGaming. So without further ado, let's move on to the teams. Fille is running his dual scarf team. This is a balanced team with a strong offensive and defensive core. He's running Slowbro and Registeel to take hits, as well as an Umbreon to provide wish support. On the offensive side, he's running Choice Scarf, Mismagius and Mineshaw. He's also running a Choice Banded Heracross with Guts to break through any walls, as well as absorb any Will-O-Wisps. I must admit, going into this narration, I already know all of Fille's team, since he has posted a few RMTs, and I've also tested his team out myself. Anyway, moving on to PKGaming's team. He's running an offensive team, which seems to focus on setting up the entry hazards early. He's running a Metagross, which can act as a bulky Stealth Rock supporter. He's also using the Scolipede, which is a speedy spiker. On the offensive side, his main threats are his Virizion and his Darmanitan. He's also running a Suicune, which could either be a bulky Carmine Sweeper or a physical wall. So I'm sure we'll see as the game progresses. The game begins with PK leading off with his Scolipede to set up the spikes. Fille responds with his Mismagius. With the Choice Scarf, it can outspeed and 2-hit KO. PK is caught off guard, expecting to outspeed since Scolipede is actually faster. So he switches out into Suicune, hoping to get up spikes later on in the match. The Suicune gets critted, therefore doing a hefty 50% damage. And Fille is going to switch out into his Heracross, knowing it's banded, it can do a lot of damage. It does 50% damage on the Mega Horn, meaning the Suicune is probably physically defensive. He gets phased out into his Slowbro, and he knows he can't do anything with Slowbro, so he goes into his Registeel to try and set the Stealth Rock. PK knows the Registeel is going to set up the Stealth Rock, so he takes the opportunity to get the free switch into his Scolipede, thereby allowing him to set up another layer of spikes. This is his second layer, and Fille doesn't want him to set up a third layer, so he goes into his Mismagius, knowing he's going to be able to outspeed and KO him. So that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go for the Thunderbolt, which cleanly takes out the Scolipede. Now PK's going to go into his Metagross. Fille, not wanting to lose his Mismagius, switches out into Slowbro, which is bulky enough to take anything Metagross throws at him. PK takes this opportunity to set up the Stealth Rock. Now this is quite threatening because he has Stealth Rock and 2 layers of spikes. PK switches into his Suicune, hoping to wake up since the Slowbro isn't very offensively threatening. Fille realises the Slowbro can't do very much, only doing about 20% with his Psychic, so he switches out into his Mismagius, which can threaten with a Thunderbolt. PK here is going to be forced out, and he knows the Thunderbolt is coming, so he goes into his Virizion to take the hit. It does not much damage, only about 12%. Fille here is going to switch into his Umbreon, and PK reveals that he's a special Virizion since he switches out instead of going for a close combat. He goes into his Sableye, knowing he can taunt and confuse and burn the Umbreon. However, remember, Umbreon has synchronized, so the Will-O-Wisp will reflect the burn, and both mons will end up getting burned. He goes for the Confuse rate, and the Umbreon is going to derp itself and hit itself in its confusion. He goes for the Taunt as well, so now the Umbreon can't wish or protect. There's not much this Umbreon can do now, so Fille is going to switch him out, go to Slowbro, because the Slowbro doesn't mind the burn, of course. PK decides to switch out his Sableye, and he goes into his Suicune. At this point, all he wants to do is just to wake up. Remember, this is Black and White 2, therefore the sleep counter resets every time he switches out. Fille is going to go for the School, doing about 10%. He's now going to switch out into his Heracross, which surprised me a bit since I thought he would just try to KO with Psychic. But it doesn't really matter since he's going to go for the Mega Horn here, and it will hit and cleanly KO the Suicune. PK is going to switch into his Darmanitan, which can force out the Heracross. Fille is going to switch into his Slowbro, however PK predicts this nicely and goes for the U-turn. He's going to switch out here into his Virizion, which can threaten with powerful grass type stab attacks. Once again, Fille is going to switch into his Umbreon on the Virizion, however this time he's just going to sack it out to the 2-hit KO after Stealth Rock and 2 layers of spikes. Now that his Umbreon's gone, Fille is going to switch into his Mineshaw. Remember, he's Scarfed, so he's hoping to get the revenge kill on Virizion. PK doesn't want this to happen, so he switches into a Sableye, a very nice prediction, meaning Fille will now take 50% damage from the recoil miss. Fille is going to switch into his Heracross, hoping to take the Will-O-Wisp. Ironically, it's actually quite unlucky now for Fille because the Will-O-Wisp misses, however it will hit on the next turn. A bit of bad luck again for Fille, his Mega Horn's going to miss, but at the end of the day none of this really matters since Fille does manage to KO the Sableye with a Choice Band, Guts boosted, Mega Horn. PK is going to switch into his Darmanitan, and Fille knows he doesn't really need his Heracross anymore since he's going to die from burn anyway, so he sacks him out. PK is going to go into his Metagross, and with a switch advantage, Fille is going to switch into his Slowbro since it's so physically bulky, the Metagross can't do much against it. However, he's actually going to reveal Explosion, and with a normal gem, it's going to KO that Slowbro with no problem at all. Fidge is going to go to his Miss Maggie's here, while PK goes into his Darmanitan. It's going to suffer quite a lot from the Stealth Rocks, so Fidge knows he can just go into his Registeel, sack it out, and the Darmanitan will kill itself from the Flare Blitz recoil. PK is now down to his last Pokemon, his Virizion. Of course, Fidge knows this, so he goes into his Mind Shell, in the safe knowledge that he can outspeed and one-hit KO. Fortunately, he survives after switching to the entry hazard. The Mind Shell is now going to go for the high jump kick for the game-winning kill, clearly netting the KO. And I'm just realising now I'm talking about the wrong game. This is Pokemon, not MW2. Anyway, that's the battle. So, well played to both players. That was a very enjoyable game. I sure enjoyed commentating over it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, before I go, I just want to say one last thing. Any of you who are capable, please, please, please help out with the Pokemon Online YouTube channel. I mean, let's be honest, it's not a very active channel. It could get a lot more likes, a lot more subscribers, but we need your help to do it. So if you can, hop onto the forums, check out the YouTube thread. There's a whole list of ways you can help. You can help with subtitling, narrating, submit your battles, anything. Just check it out, and thank you very much. Anyway, I've been Cloud7Z. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.